Saluton! Mi parolas Esperanton. Ni lernos la Esperanto-lingva kuna. Let me translate that, just for clarity. Hello, I'm speaking Esperanto, or rather, was. We're learning the Esperanto language together. Now, the thing about Esperanto is it's an artificially constructed language, constructed in 1887 by L.L. Zamenhof, a Polish physician. And Esperanto was designed so that it would be a language without bias or advantage. So if someone who natively speaks French was communicating with someone who natively speaks Chinese, theoretically they could have used Esperanto to speak to one another, and no one would have the advantage because it was neither of their first languages. Now, usually today, what do people speak as a second language? English. So Esperanto didn't really work out the way it was intended, but we still do use it today. And according to an article called The Teaching and Learning of Esperanto that was published in February 2015, Esperanto was designed for ease of use, an idea that was agreed upon by Leo Tolstoy. And according to the article, How Many People Speak Esperanto?, the answer to that question is approximately 2 million, but that may be a conservative estimate. And to give you some context for that number, that's about twice the number of people who speak Welsh. But the people who speak Welsh all live in Wales, they all live together, whereas the people who speak Esperanto live all around the world. So people don't use Esperanto on a daily basis because they don't live around people who also speak Esperanto. And according to the biography Zamenhof, published in 1960, there have been significant amounts of Esperanto literature published. Esperanto himself published Esperanto dictionaries. Click. So here we have some Esperanto literature. We have The Lord of the Rings translated, an Esperanto dictionary, a poster that says, this is in German, the world learns, and then Esperanto. And this is an anthology of Esperanto literature. And this is a symbol on the Esperanto flag. And so Esperanto nowadays is used in schools. The article Esperanto Raises Grammar Hopes cites the use of Esperanto in elementary schools in Great Britain, which leads to the improvement in areas such as English and French. So let me give you an analogy. Who learned the recorder in elementary school?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. All right. Who still plays the recorder?
6th graders.
Who wants to listen to the recorder?
Not me.
So why do we learn how to play the recorder?
Right.
Well, in elementary school, you don't start playing the bass clarinet. It's too big. You use a child-sized instrument. So when you're learning foreign languages, the idea of using Esperanto in the classroom is you use an easy-to-use language to teach grammar so that you can work on complicated grammar, such as in modern languages like English and French. So etymology is where a word comes from, where it's derived. So in the 1960 biography, Zamenhof, the creator of Esperanto, Bolton sums up the etymology, or the reasoning behind the different etymologies in Esperanto nicely. He, Zamenhof, had seen how the Russians forbade Polish and Lithuanian, so the Poles and the Lithuanians naturally disliked the Russian language. How neither Poles nor Lithuanians nor Russians either Greek, German, or Yiddish. His history books told him of wars between the French and the English and the Spanish and the Dutch. So it gets complicated. So the etymology of Esperanto is interesting because it's an artificially constructed language. Now, in a naturally forming language like English or French or Italian, the etymology is varied and appears naturally. Like the way we use bouquet in English, but it's a French word. Whereas Zamenhof had to invent the etymology. He had to choose the words specifically. And he chose the words of Esperanto in order to mimic other languages, but not one specific language. He made it so there'd be no bias. The languages would be distributed equally in Esperanto. The internet has researched Esperanto culture. Click. Here we have the Esperanto Museum in Vienna, Austria, and here we have a picture from 1906 of an Esperanto gathering, where people get together and speak Esperanto. So the Esperanto Museum in Vienna is part of the Department of Planned Languages in the Austrian National Library. And there's a website for that where you can see you can see thousands of books in Esperanto and publications in Esperanto, like newspapers and journals. And the website goes on to say that there are over 100 Esperanto organizations, the largest of which is the World Esperanto Association. This association holds an annual World Congress. The 100th gathering of the annual World Congress occurred this past summer, and over 2,500 people were registered attendees. The Esperanto USA, which is an American Esperanto association, was founded in 1952, according to the World Esperanto website. So, Esperanto and culture today. There's an Esperanto anthem called La Espero, which translates to the hope, and the word Esperanto translates to the one who hopes. And Esperanto, so there's Esperanto music. Esperanto is used in movies. This sign here is in Esperanto. It's often used in movies just to be like a foreign language that's not necessarily one specific foreign language. And Esperanto is also used in scientific discovery. Or not discovery, Esperanto is used in scientific language. So people would speak in Esperanto in terms of science. And right here I have a video of La Espera, the hope. We're going to start that at about 15 seconds because there's no sound. So that's what that sounds like. See, you know what that sounds like. And go ahead and click. That's that it? Yep, that was all. I thought it would go black. But so today we talked about how Esperanto is used, the history of Esperanto, the original intended use of Esperanto, the use of Esperanto today, and the culture of Esperanto. Okay.